His heart was seized not by battle but by beauty. For in the Philistine city of Timnah he beheld a woman whose laughter danced like wind through reeds, and whose eyes held the fire of temptation. And though his parents pleaded, "She is not of our people. Seek a wife among Israel," he defied them, saying, "Get her for me, for she pleases me," thus beginning a path where desire would clash with the purpose Yahawah had set for him. At his wedding feast, amidst flowing wine and mocking Philistine nobles, Samson's pride flared as he posed a riddle born of his secret victory over the lion. Out of the eater came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet. But when the Philistines, unable to solve it, threatened his bride's family, she wept and clung to him, coaxing the answer from his lips. And when his enemies returned with the solution, his fury ignited like dry tinder, for he knew she had betrayed him. Storming from the feast, he slew 30 Philistines to pay the wager, but when he returned for his wife, he found her given to another man, and grief twisted into vengeance. He caught 300 foxes, tied torches to their tails, and released them into Philistine fields, turning their harvest into an inferno, the flames devouring vineyards and olive groves as he watched from the hills, jaw clenched, the night sky glowing red with ruin. And in that moment, the man who had been chosen to deliver Israel stood at the crossroads of love and war, his destiny now bound to bloodshed. The sun burned low over the hills of Judah, staining the sky with the color of blood, as news of Samson's fiery revenge on the Philistines swept through the land like a wind before a storm. And the Philistine lords, humiliated and enraged by the destruction of their fields and vineyards, gathered their warriors in iron ranks and marched on Judah with a singular demand: "Deliver us the one who has defied us, or we will burn your land and slaughter your people." Fear gripped the hearts of the men of Judah, for they had long grown accustomed to living under the yoke of their enemies, resigned to servitude and tribute. And when the Philistine host encamped at Lehi, bristling with spears and shields, they saw no hope but to betray their own deliverer. So 3,000 men of Judah went up to the rocky stronghold of Etam, where Samson hid. And in the dim shadows of the cleft, they stood before him, nervous, ashamed, and trembling. "Do you not know," they pleaded, their voices laced with desperation, "that the Philistines rule over us? What is this you have done to bring their wrath upon us?" Samson's eyes, dark as a storm about to break, burned with a fury that was both righteous and dangerous, and his reply cut like iron: "As they did to me, so I have done to them." But the men of Judah would not relent. They had come to save their own skins, not to honor Yahawah's deliverer. And they said, "We have come to bind you and hand you over to them." For a moment silence hung heavy as the weight of betrayal sank deep into Samson's chest. These were his own people, the ones he fought to free, yet they would rather appease their oppressors than stand beside him. Slowly, with a voice low but filled with restrained power, he said, "Swear to me that you yourselves will not kill me." And they swore, binding him with 2 new ropes, their hands trembling as they tied the cords around his arms, as though they feared what might come if he broke free. When they brought him down to Lehi, the Philistine camp erupted in triumphant laughter. Here was the mighty Samson, bound and helpless, delivered by the very people he sought to save. Drums beat, voices jeered, swords clanged on shields in mockery as they surrounded him, eager to spill his blood and parade his corpse before their gods. But in that moment, as they closed in, the air itself seemed to tremble, and suddenly the spirit of Yahawah rushed upon Samson like a consuming fire. His muscles swelled with divine strength, his heart thundered like the roar of lions, and the ropes binding his arms burned away as if licked by invisible flames. Terror flashed across Philistine faces as the man they thought conquered burst forth like an unleashed